Dwayne. Nice job so far. I really like your graphics, and you're really beginning to create some elements that add to the unity. I guess you must like baseball more than football because you didn't show that, whatever it's called. So just a few suggestions. I would make the color of the sky a little bit more toned down, more just like not such an aqua color, more of like a blue color. You also may want to add a gradient from, up to down. It's usually gradients, they're light at the bottom, then they go to dark. I had just kind of looking at, I was showing somebody else some of these clouds. I posted a tutorial for this too. And again, you can see it's light to dark. There's so many cloud tutorials online. And I posted several too. They're not, something like this would look cool. I would just keep the sky at, one of these less saturated blue colors. Just because it's so strong that it's really taking away from some of the other images. Again, this is kind of a sunset gradient sky that that you could do or could not do. I'm not sure about the sun up here. I'm not sure if it adds much. And just a few other suggestions. I don't think you need to add the names. I think it would look a lot cleaner if you added the names. You can even make this. You could make these bigger too and move this whole kind of front up. I just think that all the names are adding a lot of, because it's high contrast, which works fine for the main type, but when you start to add so much other text, or you could just make it less stand out. You can make it stand out less. You don't have to bold it. You don't have to use all caps. All caps is kind of taken the easy way. So, that's just some suggestions. I was just looking at this. This is kind of a cool gradient with a little bit of sun here. So again, if you look, if you even look up, how to create a sky in Illustrator, you're going to just get so many things. Or even, or even just search in YouTube, you're just going to get tons and tons of ideas on, some of them aren't good, obviously, as you can see right here, but again, it just helps to do a little research. So what else? So I think that would really help to unify. The thing too with so much color here, it's hard to balance it. So you might want to try less saturated color for some of this, these objects. And just make them a little bigger. You've got enough space, and I think if you made the text stand out less, also this doesn't need to be so big. I can't remember what's that. Atlanta does have a tagline, I think. I can't remember. Okay, so here's one, I guess, the Big Peach. And again, I kind of like this peach here. That's kind of what I think of Atlanta. I've been there several times, but there's the peach in some buildings. I'm trying to find some other ones. That's Miami. That's kind of a cool one too. These are kind of old because people don't even do posters anymore. This is kind of a cool one, but this is all peach. But I kind of, George is on my mind. I kind of like this text here, how it's put on a path. That's something you might want to do. You have the skills for it. Yeah, I'm just looking for kind of a newer one. Yeah, that's way too busy. Looks like, student work almost. Yeah, I'm not seeing a bunch of different stuff, but I could see a peach, like with yours. I could see maybe a peach coming in from the side. If you moved over the roller coaster graphic so it's not taking up all of this prime screen real estate here, and just move the whole thing over, then you could have like a little peach branch coming off here if you wanted to. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly show you a couple, posters that look pretty well. Look at the color here. The color is not realistic, obviously. You're not going to see blue buildings, but they did the color because they wanted it to really be clean, and also it's really consistent with the poster. Illinois should be smaller, but again, you can see some clouds here. I think I already showed you this one. Really nice work on the text. Again, this one's way too busy, but they did a pretty good job for the most part. But again, when the attractions are all so bright, it doesn't, it looks kind of amateurish. And again, this one's a really good one. And again, the buildings aren't all purple, but this is a good sunset gradient here. And notice just the real blocky text. You don't need, you don't need any tagline to be very big. That's kind of getting a little busy. Here's another one. I mean, the color is not working because, it's just red on blue is really hard to see. But overall, they did everything red. Obviously not realistic. But, the foreground has a little bit of texture. So you might want to think of, some texture for your foreground. Because, I mean, it's pretty heavy, but if you lighten things up too, it won't look so heavy. I wouldn't use a really dark block down here. I would, because you've got so much contrast between the sky and the bottom that it looks, it just looks really heavy down here, and this looks empty. So that's what happens when you do that. Let's see. I mean, this one's okay. They messed it up by adding too much text. The tendency to add too much is pretty strong when you're first learning. But if the text wasn't here, it would look pretty good. I mean, I like the skyline in the back. The gradient in the sky works well. The sun does not work well. They could have muted it a little bit. But again, the way the text is placed is pretty nice. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope that you'll have time to go to one of the meetings this week. Probably like Thursday or something, Friday, I don't know. Last week I did them on the weekend. A couple people came. It's really pretty fun. And also you get live feedback and you can ask questions because it's a live thing. Okay, so anyway, I hope you found this useful.